What's up, everybody? King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. Today we're going to be talking again about ArkFi. I want to dig into a couple more features within this system, as well as the calculator, and seeing kind of what the projections of what your earnings can look like with ArkFi in the future. Shout out to the ArkFi community. I know you guys kind of rated my last video and gave me a lot of support for making that video, and I'm glad you guys are such a well-knit community, and I'm definitely looking forward to learning more about this system and seeing how it works all together. Now, full disclosure, guys, if you've never used a system like ArkFi, this is a percent daily type of contract with a lot of bells and whistles attached to it, and there's a lot of really cool stuff here that keeps this whole system sustainable for the long run. So we'll talk about that and what the sustainable part of that means. And there is risk associated with this, so don't be completely fooled by 2% daily. The price of the token does matter and does sort of change the percent daily when it comes to the USD. I've been involved with a few of these platforms that are percent daily contracts that do really, really well and have done really, really well for years, like more than a year. And I've been involved with platforms that have collapsed within a couple of months because it wasn't set up properly, or there was massive sell pressure and they didn't know how to deal with it. So we'll see if ArkFi works. This is a pretty new platform, so you're getting in from the ground up, and if you're depositing into here, we'll talk about some of the features in here. So the first thing I want to go ahead and talk about is some of the features that I missed in my last video. In the last video, we'll talk about how you can join this and the basics of it. But one of the features that I missed was down here. This is the auto allocation. So I talked about in the last video, you need to make sure that you press this button every single day, every single 24 hours, more realistically, every single like 23 and a half hours, because I actually forgot to press it on my first day. I was a couple minutes late. Because if you're late in pressing this button every single 24 hours, it's going to mess with your CWR. And if your CWR gets messed with too much and it goes too low, your percent daily goes down, which is pretty detrimental. Nobody wants that to happen to them in the system. But there is an upside. Instead of you stressing out and pressing that button every single day and setting an alarm clock to do that, you can actually prepay, right? So down here is something called auto allocation. So what auto allocation does is you can enter the number of days that you want to auto allocate for. So let's just say you want to auto allocate for a month. So you can do 30 days. You can click your target CWR. Now, again, you want to avoid these red numbers. In fact, it doesn't even let you click on the red numbers. You can click on the highest number here to get the best CWR depending on the NFT that you purchased. I have a silver NFT, so I can go all the way up to 250, but you probably have, if you don't have an NFT, I think you can do this value right here, 150. And after you do that number of days, you can go ahead and click on, there's going to be a different button here that you guys can click on to actually start it, and it'll automatically click on this blue button for you every single day without you having to remember for the next however many days you said, 30 days. So I did mine for 20 days just to test it out, and it worked. The past day it did it at the same time, 9 o'clock p.m. In the past day, and I didn't have any issues with it not working. Didn't have to be near my computer, didn't have to set my alarm, so that's a wonderful feature to use for those of you who have busy lives like myself. You can see my stats right here. We're going to look at my stats in the next page too, but you can see that it is paying out. I've withdrawn 1.10 ARK tokens, so I do have that available in my wallet right now. I've compounded 2.66 ARK tokens, so yeah, a lot of good stuff here. So the next thing I want to take a look at, you guys can find this under the more section, and going down to where it says calculator, we can take a look and see what can you make with ArkFi in the long run. So again, if you're new to these platforms, this is extremely helpful for you to make some projections and predictions in the future, but as always, you do want to proceed with caution. This is not a guarantee calculator because, again, that price of the coin matters a lot. If the price of the coin actually goes up, then you're going to be making a lot more than what this calculator says. If it goes down, you're going to be making less, and hopefully it stays virtually the same, close to the same, you'll be making about that amount. But like I said, generally with my experience with these platforms, the price of the token goes down over time. It's really, really hard to avoid that in the very, very long run. But nonetheless, we're going to take a look at why that doesn't really matter that much, that the price of the token goes down. So here's my wallet that I have in here. You can see that my total invested amount is about $578. And we can see different numbers, like the important numbers that right here. It says the days to ROI is going to be 96 days that it's going to take for me to get a return on my investment, provided the price stays exactly the same, which I'm sure that it won't. I'm sure it'll be different from 96 days from now. My total ROI until this contract stops paying out for me will be 26,968%. Again, that number is going to be different at the end, very, very different at the end. It's going to take a couple years to get there, number one. So the price of the token will probably be different a couple years from now compared to what it is right now. And it also gives you some other shorter term projections, like your 3-month earnings. Right here, I should be making $485 in 3 months, which coincides with my ROI amount. My net daily earnings at the end of the first year is going to be $14 a day. 1 year from now, that's going to be my net daily earnings. After 2 years, I'm making $72 a day. And again, this is with compounding involved and all that stuff. This is why this number goes up so much. So these are the numbers that people really look forward to. And this is why people join these platforms really early, so they can get these higher percent daily yields in the end. And of course, the contract doesn't pay out forever. That would be completely unsustainable. So at the end of year 5, it does become $0 because the contract will stop paying if you don't add a second wallet in here, which is something you have the option to do. Right. So there's other things you can add to this calculator, like adding to your principal if you want to add, I don't know, $10 a day for a couple days, compounding using NFTs, and having different starting ROIs. So there's a bunch of different options you can play around with. But again, you don't want to just look at this calculator and say, oh, well, looks like I'm going to be making 26,000% and then just set it and forget it. You kind of want to think ahead and adjust the numbers accordingly to what you think the price is going to be, let's say a year from now or a month from now or a couple months from now. And that way you'll understand what your price, what the amount you're going to be making is. My $500 investment, is that really going to turn into $136,431? Maybe. We'll see. I don't see that as something that's too far off with the way that crypto might look like in the next couple of years. But even if it doesn't, even if the price goes down, a couple cents every single day for the next couple years, you should still end up in profit with ROI overall. But again, like I said, I've been in platforms where that didn't work and I ended up in a loss at the end of the day. So no promises here, but it does look pretty promising for ArkFi overall with the way that it's set up and with the community that it has. Again, these things are built off of the community. Cryptocurrencies survive off of communities, and from what I've seen, at least with my last video in the comments that I got, the community for ArkFi currently is very, very strong. Right, so that's the main 2 things I wanted to kind of cover with this token. Definitely check it out for yourself. I will be doing more updates on this. It's up to you if you want to join up and try it out for yourself. You can try a couple bucks. I think there is a minimum, it's like $30 for a minimum, depending on its ARK value minimum. So it's going to change over time. But nonetheless, if you want to try it out, you can try it out for a little bit of time, or you can just watch me and see kind of how it works or doesn't work for me in the next couple months. And I will stay with you guys for an update. And let me know. Let me know if you guys want to hear more about this, hear more content about this platform in the comments section. And I will definitely put more videos out there. If you want to hear less about these videos, I've gotten people telling me, King of Fomo, we hate this. We don't want to see this anymore. Then let me know that too. And potentially I might make less. We'll see. So that's everything for today, guys. Check it out for yourself. I'll leave links in the description below if you want to check it out, or if you want to look at my previous videos. And of course, if you want to follow me over there on Patreon and get access to all of my videos earlier than everyone else here on YouTube, then you can do that. Also supports me in making more content and more videos more frequently. So thank you to those of you who decided to become patrons for that. It's real cheap. It's like a couple dollars a month. Just to, I'm not trying to rip anybody off. I'm not providing a ton of value for Patreon right now, but in the future, I believe that crypto will be a game changer. And man, this is this is the funny thing. And I mean, you guys are all here, so you don't need to hear this, but people always tell me when crypto goes up to like all-time highs, people are like, man, I wish I would have known about crypto. I wish I would have got into it. And this is the time that where all of us YouTubers and all people in crypto are like, man, this kind of sucks for us right now, because nobody's watching crypto videos. Nobody's looking at crypto content. Everybody's actually hating on it a lot when it's down. But as soon as it starts going up, people are like, how do I make all this money? And then the answer to that question is, well, the easiest way to make all this money is you should have been here 5 months ago when crypto was really bad. So I don't know why I went off on that tangent. I kind of forgot. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.